Starting in April of last year, I decided to replay every single From Software game to get myself ready for the upcoming Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. I'd planned to do something sort of similar to this 2 years ago before Elden Ring came out, but my computer exploded, so we're doing it now. In the last episode, we just barely killed the Bloodstarved Beast in the most intense boss fight yet, and this time we're taking down a boss that actually should be pretty easy, right? If you enjoyed this episode, by the way, feel free to check out the last episode, linked in the description down below, and also check out some of our other series. Also, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that subscribe button as we post videos from this series every single Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoy. Now that we've taken down the Bloodstarved Beast, we can head back to Odin Chapel, where a new doorway to the right has been opened up. You go through this small corridor, up an elevator, and then into this small room with a sweet old man in a wheelchair. Oh my god! Head outside across this bridge, dodging the gunfire from above. Now, while you can go inside right now and climb up to the top of this structure, it won't actually take us anywhere, so for now, we're just going to continue forward. Hook around the right side of the structure where you'll find a section you can drop down to, and enter into the lower part of the building. From here, you have to do a falling puzzle to reach the bottom, and there's a secret area here as well. If you take some very risky falls, which you can see me sort of laying out the path here. I'm just going to give it a second to play all the drops properly. You'll actually make it to this ledge where you can open a door, and it takes you to Hunter's Dream. Yeah, so like with most From Software games, this is the real version of the hub world we've become familiar with. There's a few items here, namely the doll's comb, which you can give to the doll for a bloodstone to enhance your weapon, and an item called 1/3 of an umbilical cord. Gross. Getting 3 copies of this item from various places in the game will grant you access to the true ending, which we'll talk about much later. And go back down to the chapel and back to the falling puzzle, now aiming to get all the way down to the bottom. Down here is a new type of enemy, these long pyromancer wolf guys who can be pretty annoying. Once he's dead, head out into the lower alleys of the cathedral ward, dealing with normal enemies and dogs, along with 2 new enemies. First are these really creepy, like twitching enemies called brainsuckers. If they grab you, they'll steal some of your insight, and there's a hooded variant that can bind you with magic to guarantee a grab as well. The other new enemy is called the Snatcher, and are these huge guys with bags. If they kill you, well, we'll talk about it a bit later. Once you reach the end of this section, you'll ride another small elevator up and be deposited on the other side of the gate, which you can lift up, connecting you back to the main lane through the cathedral ward. From here, we have 2 different ways that we can go. There's a small pathway to the left from where you drop down that will take you to the bottom of a large staircase with another gate on your right. Raise it and head into the graveyard. This is full of giants and madman's knowledge, and once again, 2 ways you can go. The first way connects to another gate that we could have opened early with an item. It basically would have let us skip the Bloodstarved Beast. We don't have to do that whole section with the bad guys, all that stuff. But there's actually a second way that takes you to the small doorway and onto this slightly raised section. To your right is another brainsucker, and to the left is a section you can drop down to fight a ton of enemies shoved into this small area. I totally didn't die here 2 times trying to get to this section. Totally not. That would be something only a rookie would do. There's a ladder in this little building, but we'll head up here in a second. Head down the stairs into this crowded little street with some items and buildings. There's 2 NPCs in these buildings you can talk to, and first is Ariana, a very nice lady of the night who you can safely send to Odin Chapel with no hassle. The other man, though, is a bit more of a handful, and by that, I mean he's an asshole. After you send Ariana to the chapel, our guy here will say he's not stupid and ask you where you sent Ariana. If you want him to go to Odin Chapel, you actually have to tell him to go to Eosefka's clinic, as he'll do the opposite of whatever you tell him. So much for, trying to be nice, I guess. There's also one important item you'll need to grab here, which is this church outfit you'll need for an NPC later. That's all that's here, really. So, you can go the rest of this way, and it connects back to the other side of the graveyard, but that's not important right now. Just head back into the building and climb up the ladder. Head across and drop down onto this dog, and then deal with some more priest guys. Go back to where we dropped down to first get into this area and take the other path, heading up until you come onto this upper section, where you'll find yourself behind a guy with a crazy scythe. Kill him, then the guy with the cool gun on the other side, and continue up the stairs. Just a few enemies left. First is another giant, and then these 2 guys wielding big wooden crosses. If your insight's actually high enough, the crosses will be glowing red and inflict a status called Frenzy on you if they hit you, which acts pretty similar to Blood Loss in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3, but on steroids. Like, seriously, it guaranteed does about 90% of your health and damage, unless you have pretty high frenzy resistance, and even then, I don't think it decreases the damage, it just decreases how fast the bar fills up. From here, we could head to the boss, but there's actually a couple things we need to discuss, and one more area we need to go through. First off, there's a path to the left and the right once you're here near the cathedral. To the right is an area with a dead end containing some items and enemies, like big axe guys, there's a couple snatchers, there's some skittering beasts that drop bloodstone shards, all that stuff. We actually can't go too far in this area. We'll go later. Like, there's a door here, and we can get on the other side of it later in the game, but for right now, it's just a dead end. To the left is a section which actually leads to a whole new area called Hemwick Charnel Lane. This is an optional area with an equally optional boss, but I didn't actually go through it on stream. The main reason for this is because the boss of Hemwick is basically one I deemed either impossible or just too annoying to actually do blindfolded, just due to the overall nature of the boss. See, the actual boss of Hemwick Charnel Lane is this little witch girl. She's super, or a little witch lady, I guess, not really a girl. Super old, super weak, super easy. But her whole gimmick is that she doesn't try to outright attack you. She just kind of stands around. She's invisible, and when you attack her a couple times, she teleports. So I would have to blindly search this room for an invisible lady who I don't think you can even hear. Maybe she gives off some noise. I'm not sure. But I have to search an entire room blindfolded for her, hit her a couple times, she teleports away, and then I have to do that multiple times. Then when you kill her, another one spawns, and now you have to do it with two of them. It's really frustrating, and I just didn't think it could actually be done blindfolded. If you can do it, send me a video. That'd be sick. Awesome. You're a better Bloodborne player than I am. But for me, I just figured I couldn't do it. There's a couple bosses in this game that I didn't do blindfolded for multiple reasons, and we'll talk about those when we get to them. I think from here, there's only 3 more counting the DLC. So again, we'll talk to that when we get there. But for now, like I said, this area, it's optional. So I didn't do it on a stream because I didn't do the boss blindfolded. I do actually recommend going through this section though, as the item you get for beating the boss allows you to equip runes to your character, which basically act as the rings for this game. Like there's ones to increase your resistances, there's one for increased soul gains, for more visceral damage, more defenses, all this stuff. Like I said, they're basically rings. So I definitely recommend doing this boss, just, I wouldn't try it blindfolded. That's just me. Now, again, we could go fight the boss with the Cathedral Ward, but do you remember earlier when I mentioned the Snatcher enemies? The first time you die to one of these guys, you'll be whisked away to an area named Yargul Unseen Village. The first time you come here, you'll honestly just want to run to the lantern as fast as you can, avoiding the Snatchers trying to kill you so you can get your blood echoes back. You just have to go up these stairs and then up onto this platform, light a lantern, you're out of there. Super quick, super easy. Just be careful of the bag guys trying to, punch your head off. After getting the church closed in the Cathedral Ward, though, you can come back and properly explore this area. In the first main room, there's 2 Snatchers. Now, I actually want to talk about my main method of killing these guys, because these enemies are no joke, especially for if you're new to this game, so I'm just going to cover it. My main method, like I was saying, is to get one parry visceral off, which is where you shoot them with a gun right before they hit you. That staggers them so you can actually do a visceral attack. And then after that, they should be low enough that they'll start to charge into their second form, and during which you can get behind them and do a charged R2 or charged heavy attack if you're, using a keyboard somehow on PS4. I don't even know why I mentioned that. But do a charged R2 attack. This will knock them down and allow you to get one more visceral. From here, they should either be dead or low enough that you can hit them 1 or 2 more times to actually kill them, and that's great. Once both these Snatchers are dead, head back down to the jail where you first spawned in for this area and take these stairs down. You'll hear the voice of a woman praying for help, and if you equip the church outfit, you can actually invite her to Odin Chapel. But I do have a warning for you. So when it comes to Ariana and this church girl, you can actually take blood from them, similar to Iosefka, which you can use as a one-use healing item type thing. You can only have one type of blood at a time, so you can either have Iosefka's, Ariana's, I think her name's Ariadne or Anita, something. It's another A name. I don't know. But you can only have one of their blood at a time. If you take blood from Ariana too many times while the church girl is there, I think the number is 3. So if you take blood from Ariana, use it, refresh, use it, refresh, use it, while the church girl is in Odin Chapel, she will actually kill Ariana, which prevents you from getting an item that we will talk about later, but it's needed for, again, important stuff. Basically, if you want my advice and you don't want, church waifu killing prostitute waifu, just either take blood from the church girl or don't get any blood from them at all. Cool, now let's talk about the rest of Yargul. Head back up to the main area and head out of the main entrance. Right in front of you is a massive staircase with a big pig on it, so take care of him and go down, grabbing some items including this sick armor set. I believe it's the Black Iron Yargul set. Super cool. I love the hood and the stuff. I kind of wish the helmet wasn't so see-through so you couldn't see your face. Other than that though, it's a really awesome armor set. Go back up the stairs and continue forward, killing another giant pig and then some dogs. Finally, in this area is a Snatcher and a few more dogs. No big deal at all. There's actually a weapon here called the Tonitrus, which can emit electricity, so that's cool. And there's a bunch more items around here like bloodstone shards and even some bolt paper, which is basically an item that will apply electricity onto your weapon. The main nice thing about Yargul though is the insane amount of souls you get from everything here. I think the pigs give about 5,000 without any boosted soul drops from runes, so it's pretty ridiculous, especially this early in the game. It's so easy to farm here because you just kill the 2 Snatchers, kill the 2 pigs, refresh, and just do that over and over and over over again. You can get so many souls so fast. Great farming spot. It's just really good. There's a few more pathways and even a boss we can actually fight here, but spoiler alert, we will be back in this area later in the game. So for now, we're just going to go back to the Lantern and prepare for the boss of the Cathedral Ward, Vicar Amelia. Anyway, Haru, if you're still listening, we are about to start a boss, so you can get a feel for, so I can get a feel for how it's gonna work. Amelia, calm down. It's okay. I asked for a venti mocha. Like, what happens here? Honestly. It's actually really funny that if you run only required bosses, that this is the second boss rather than the fourth. Gosh, her design's so freaking cool, dude. So cool. Okay, long silence is a grab. She moves around a lot more than I remember. So I'll normally be like here. I'm just trying to get a feel for like, yeah. Okay, she does that attack. Does she even have a phase? Like, what does she do during phase 2 besides healing? Does she really? Man, I don't remember. Okay. I mean, not much more I can do than just try. Yeah, I really don't know what else to do other than just attempt it. I guess she grabbed me. Okay, what did I do? Didn't do very good. Alright, so, here come the questions. What was happening, besides me mistiming, like, literally every single dodge I hit? What is happening? Okay, Jesus. I don't even know if I'm locked onto her. No, I wasn't. Okay. I don't understand. I didn't mean to press it again. I know I knocked her down, but... Can I please heal? I don't think I'm locked on. Bro, I don't... And I can't... No one's saying anything, so I don't know what, like, I... Oh my god! Oh, I came on unlocked because I was dead. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. No. Let's see. She grabbed me. Of course she did. I'm guessing I'm not locked on, probably. Oh, cool. I'm not locked on. The whole reason I decided to give up on that one, even though Gehrman took me like, or not Gehrman, Gascoigne took me like 30 attempts, is because unlike with Gascoigne, I never felt like I was actually making any progress with her. Every time, even the times when, I would technically get further, it literally just felt like luck every single time. So, after talking to chat and Reddit a bit, I figured that the best way to do this boss would have actually been to have my axe in long mode and just spam my held down R2 move, the big spin move you see me do sometimes. But at the time, the boss just felt straight up impossible, at least at the level I was at. Like I said in the last clip that you watched, unlike the other bosses, I never really felt like I was making progress in my fights with Amelia. In fact, near the end, I actually felt like I was getting worse, so ultimately, I gave up on her. I know it's kind of a bummer note to like end the episode on. My whole thing is like, hey, I'm gonna be beating all these bosses blindfolded, and there's this boss that I straight up gave up on. But let me just clarify that at least when I started this challenge, it was meant to just be a can I beat the bosses blindfolded thing. Like whenever I was doing the streams, it wasn't supposed to be will I beat them, it was a can I beat them. So I had set an attempt limit of 10 for the bosses. Now I went over that attempt limit with Gascoigne, but like with Bloodstarved Beast, with Cleric Beast, I was actually close to quitting whenever I beat him. I think I was on attempt 8 or 7 when I actually beat him, and once I got to 10 attempts, I was just gonna, get out of there. But I ended up beating him with Gascoigne. After about 5, 6, 7 attempts, I was so determined to beat it because I felt like I was getting so close and I felt like I was having a lot of fun with doing it. So I was like, yeah, I can beat him. I don't care. I think it was like 27 attempts, something like that. I didn't care that it took that many times. I just wanted to do it. So that's why I kept going. And with Bloodstarved Beast, I beat him on the 5th or 6th or 7th try. I don't remember what it was. But he was another one that if I got to 10 attempts, I was just going to quit. Vicar Amelia, this was still at the point where I was saying, if a boss takes me 10 tries, I'm going to stop because I just didn't want to be sitting there doing something for hours and hours on end. Because it wasn't really a challenge series. It was more just me playing through Bloodborne, and then I was doing this fun thing with the bosses sometimes. I will say, though, don't worry about, I know all that maybe sounded sucky, especially when you think about the intro that I made to this series where I talked about beating them all blindfolded. Do not worry. I promise you that Vicar Amelia was the only boss that I did blindfolded that I actually gave up on. Like I said, there were some other bosses in the game that I didn't even attempt blindfolded, but every boss from here on out that I attempted blindfolded, I actually beat. So, look forward to that. In the next episode, we'll be going through the worst area in this game and getting railed by 3 guys at once. Wait, that actually sounds... Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I'm sorry that I couldn't actually beat Amelia blindfolded, but at least at the time, it just felt straight up impossible, and I was getting extremely, extremely frustrated with her. I think it's because I was hungry. I don't know. I just know I was getting super frustrated, so I gave up, and it sucks. But from here on out, no more giving up. All bosses done blindfolded are beaten blindfolded, so that's excellent. When it comes to, I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, but down in the description down below, you can watch the episode where we fought the Bloodstarved Beast blindfolded. Super cool, super fun. Like I said at the beginning, the friggin' best boss fight we've had so far. It was so intense and awesome. We also have some other series going on, so when this comes out, you will have seen the first episode of, or no, you'll have seen Inscription and Spider-Man 2 are still going on, so never mind. But yeah, so we have Inscription going on. Inscription's an incredible freaking card game. So fun. One of my top 10 favorite games of all time, if I'm being honest. Love that game so much. And then we are almost on the Spider-Man 2. The episode that goes up tomorrow is the finale of Spider-Man 2. So look forward to that. Super exciting. Streams, we've been streaming Demon Souls. Our last streaming session kind of went bad because my computer crashed literally twice during the stream, which is so frustrating. But we've been streaming our Demon Souls playthrough, which is awesome, super exciting. We are going to beat Demon Souls and get on to Elden Ring, and hopefully beat Elden Ring before Shadow of the Erdtree comes out. We only have like 2 months left, so I'm kind of pushing it. But yeah, that is the goal, is to beat it before then. I don't know, that's not my phone going off. Okay, someone's ringer's going off. I don't know who. I don't even know if you can hear that. But yeah, that's everything that's going on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week when we take down the Shadows of Yharnam. See you then. Bye!